Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Ads podcast. This is the podcast for anything and everything about digital marketing, social media, performance marketing, what have you. So today I'm here with my co-host Eugene. Say hi, Eugene.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Ads.
Eugene always in high spirits. So this episode we're going to be talking about. This is actually the third episode in our series called controversial marketing tactics. So the previous series was we're talking about fake. What was that? Fake social proof. And for this one, we'll be talking about artificial scarcity. So I'm going to talk about this in two levels. There's two levels of artificial scarcity. There's the tactical level in marketing, and then the strategic level in business. So let's get started. So basically, Eugene, I've sent you this screenshot, right? This is like a landing page that's currently running right now. Have you seen this kind of landing pages before, Eugene?
Oh, definitely. When I accidentally just browse to a random free movie site, I'm not condoning it, but sometimes these kind of pop-ups happen. That's how they get paid for, right? And they tell you they want something. And for this example, they're using Maxis. And they're giving away like iPhone 11 and Galaxy S20 and stuff. So
you can't believe this is basically something like, this is like, you know what this is? To me, this is like the Nigerian scams, It's kind of so obvious that come on, Maxis is not going to do a customer reward program like this and give like Apple iPhones and Samsung S20 iPad for free, But this has been, I'm telling you, this has been around since 2010. Not really, 2015 and above, when mobile was coming up.
I would say when the internet hit the wall and it became popular, it started happening anyway. Because right now, here it's like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I mean, yes. I'm going to freak out. If I want that Apple 11 iPhone really bad, I might just click on it.
Yeah.
Whatever it says.
Yeah. So basically what that is it's a screen. It's saying that it's using the Maxis logo. Okay, I admit from the outset, I admit that this is like a very extreme example of using artificial scarcity. Most of the examples out there is going to be from e-commerce companies, legit brands, trying to create scarcity for their products so that people will buy. But I'm purposely using a very extreme example to see, the kind of things that people fall for.
Correct. So we'll be showing some examples as we talk along the way. So some online stores or those programs which share with you how to lose weight, and they say, you have only a limited 15 seats and you got to join now or buy the program now before it's over, and you get that 50% discount. Or even those recent self-made gurus, right? They come online and they say, hey, I'm on, from YouTube that you watch, and, join us and we can teach you how to market like a guru, and you can fly my, what's that jet called again? The one that private jet, what is the name for it? The very famous
Concorde or something.
Oh yeah, the G6. Yeah, you get it.
G6.
Or the Concorde G6. And down there they just say, for you right now only, for limited amount of time and limited number of seats, you get like /70% off. Buy now. And those are what we call limited scarcity, because it doesn't make sense. If you are a marketing guru, why would you need to limit the knowledge or experience that you're going to share with people?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's one level above this kind of extreme. So this one is basically what they're doing is this Maxis page. This definitely not from Maxis. You look at the link there is sg.asiarchv.click. It's a super spammy domain.
But that's the problem. Not everybody knows that. I mean, I wouldn't click on it today, that's for sure. Right? So we just talk about educating the public, but yeah.
Yeah, but the fact you look at the page under congratulations there's a JavaScript generated date, and it's today's date, which is the date of this recording is 16 January. So this is a currently running campaign, meaning people wouldn't spend money for these types of campaigns if nobody's falling for it.
That's true.
So this is something that's currently working. If you people who want to do this kind of the spammy affiliate marketing thing, they will just rip this kind of landing page and then they will go to the affiliate marketing networks and find an offer, and then they run traffic, and then they start, depending on how good they are with their optimization, they start making money. But this has been around for years. This has been around since mobile was, this is specifically mobile because there's Maxis there. But this has been around since mobile was starting. Mobile traffic was starting to grow back in 2014. I think it started to grow.
Ever since the evolution of the first iPhone, right? The first iPhone.
Yeah. The first full screen iPhone, correct. So this is and since that this kind of campaigns are still being run, I guess it works for them. That's why they run it. So this is an extreme example again of extreme scarcity. This is what I call creating artificial scarcity on a tactical level. So this is a tactic that you have that countdown. There's this quiz, so you have to complete this quiz before the 3 minutes are up. But obviously, all of this is fake. Maxis doesn't do this kind of reward programs. And the funny thing is, people who fall for this, they never bother to check. They never bother to go and just a quick Google search would kind of tell them whether or not Maxis is having running a customer reward program. So they kind of play on the people who are not
savvy. But I guess you can say this is a numbers game, isn't it? I mean, if you target like a broad range of volume of traffic,
so the reason
population,
correct. The reason why this works is because mobile traffic right now is it's still relatively cheap compared to for example Facebook traffic or Google search. It's very cheap. So like for example, if you buy $10 worth of traffic, you can get you pay $10, you can get at least I think 100, almost 200,000 impressions actually.
Wow,
it's a lot. Yeah,
it's true.
So you're right. They play the numbers game. So this is again, this is, even though this is like an extreme example, you still see this being done with like last episode. Remember the One Travel kind of when they tried to create fake social proof. The countdown. Even the countdown is the countdown is fake artificial scarcity. It might be. We don't know. It might be also something that they just generate because.
True, but when you talk about companies like Booking or Agoda, where they sell flight tickets or hotel rooms, we really wouldn't know unless you can check the code and what's behind running it. But that does create scarcity, right? And scarcity is a tactic that does work. It does work because people search it already. It means they want it. And because people want it, and when you see timers and countdowns and limited stuff that's going to be sold out, and you see there's 5 people ahead of you in the queue, you tend to get a bit panicky.
Yeah, I think the other thing is because we have been conditioned, because I remember growing up, they had this kind of we had a lot of things like game shows where you can win an amazing prize as long as you complete a certain task, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire answers certain number of questions, but you're on the clock all the time, right? You have 30 seconds to answer.
That's true.
1 minute, something like that. So we've been conditioned for this kind of thing. There's something you have to complete, and you're on the clock. There's a timer for how many minutes, whatever, and it prompts us to take action. So it does work, whether or not it's unethical.
So since you're talking about this, it brings to our next topic. As you know, there's another platform called Shopify, right? And they basically provide a platform for people to build all of their online stores. If I'm showing the screen right now, as you can see, there seems to be a crackdown of all these Shopify stores that are creating fake scarcity, and people are taking it quite seriously because now this is where it becomes totally unethical, as you mentioned, that you're creating a product or a service that suddenly is limited and people are rushing in to buy it in. But the weird thing is, if you send this link to another friend and they load it up, the timer resets and they be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And even big companies like Udemy, if any of you go online and learn tutorial stuff.
Udemy, yes, that's a good example. Actually, you should show that example to the
viewers. Yeah, I'm showing it right now on the screen. So Udemy is a platform where basically, we're not sponsoring it by any means. We're just sharing. All right, you might see when you go there as you register as a first-time user, they'll give you some learning programs that are free and some that are limited time only. And I noticed when I reload this by clearing off all my cookies, if you know what I'm saying, the timer resets. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's scarce. They just make the promotion scarce, but it's just another tactic. So it's either I buy it at 50% off or at full price. It doesn't matter as long as I buy it.
Yes, that's true.
So
because Shopify, this is another link I want to show to the viewers or the listeners. apps.shopify.com/urgency pack ultimate. So this is like an app that's what Shopify calls their plugins. You can add an app to your store. And look at this thing. Even the name is called Urgency Pack Ultimate. So what it does is, it allows your shop to have like a pop-up sale countdown timer, low stock counter, trusted badges, component boost, those kind of things, like
sales pop-up, trusted badges. We got 100 badges. This product has received many 100 badges or reviews from customers. All these common features, I guess, of scarcity tactics.
So you have like a plugin or an app on Shopify specifically for this, and it's free. You can just, if you have a Shopify store, just add the app to your store, and then you start doing the pop-ups and countdown timers and stuff. So even like in supposedly more legit, businesses, I know I showed like a very extreme example just now, but even like Shopify store, e-commerce store, the stuff you see online that you think is legit, some of them are actually using very controversial tactics like this to influence your behavior to buy.
All right, we are by no means saying that it's bad to employ these tactics or to buy it and not to buy it. We're not saying that they're all scammers. We just want to be very clear. Yeah, authentication of it is a question. Correct. How do we know it's real?
Yeah, so how do we know it's real? Like, for example, an e-commerce store, if I were to buy, if I were to go into an e-commerce store, what I would like to see is if, for example, a product that I want, for the store owners to just put the available stock up front there, and have it live. And that would definitely create urgency for me, because, if I want something and there's only like 15 left, I would want to know. And I would make it a top priority for me to to complete the purchase. But that would be a natural thing, because some, let's face it, some products are not as abundant as other products. So for me, that would be a fine example of a scarcity.
Correct. But as you mentioned, that there's a few companies in Malaysia that actually did do those tactics before. For example, lelong.com.my, right? So Lelong was one of those pioneers back then, where they put products that you can buy really cheap, but for a limited time and limited quantity, and people need to bid for that particular product. But the funny thing is, the more people start bidding on it, you start to see the price go up, and it is about the same as the marginal price you might pay on retail, maybe slightly cheaper. The question is, let's say if I'm bidding for it, right? I'm bidding it this new smartphone comes up, market price is 1,000, now they're selling it for 500, so I bid 550. All right, and Amri comes in, he bids 600. And then another guy comes in with 700. How do I know that there's not someone internally also bidding it until it hits a certain threshold where that person buys? You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but you never know. But that's actually because the name itself is lelong.my or .com, or what was it?
Lelong.my.
So lelong in it's Malay for auction. So that's just how it works in auctions. You start with the low price, and depending on the demand, people will keep upping their bids to get the product. And sometimes, yes, as you said, it becomes untenable to actually buy the product, because it becomes like the market price, the same as the price outside.
Correct. But unless they stop at 800, and then I bid again because I really want it at 900 instead of paying 1,000, I still save $100. But
yes,
they
I
got
think
it, right?
in auction you should have something like, you can the first person to bid at minus 25% of the market price will automatically get the product. I think that's more fair, right? Or something like that.
Okay, fine, yeah. But then if you think about that, it defeats the purpose of the next person bidding then, right? Everybody
Yes,
want to be the first too. That's why they call it an
yeah,
auction. Another simple example,
yeah,
now that we are on this topic of artificial scarcity, when you go online live or Facebook nowadays, and there's all these live fishmongers or vegetable sellers, right? And they say like, hi, this is just fresh from the farm or fresh caught from the ocean. These are the fishes. We're selling it at this price, starting price. And in the chat and comment section, you start to see people bidding for whatever's in front of the camera, right? Those big fishes or whatever they caught, and they go like, starting price is at 90 ringgit. And some idiot goes in there and straight away bids 200. And everybody goes like, okay, you win. Nobody's going to bid anymore, right? But if anybody does want it really, really badly because they have substantial number of views, they can bid 250 or 210. It's still higher. And see where it goes.
Yeah.
How do we know that the people who are bidding in there are not also their own people because they want to sell it at 200?
Yeah, true. That's another tactic unethical tactic in scarcity. In creating scarcity is you have you plant people in the auction process, right? So you plant one of them is planted. One of the people upping up the bid is planted there by the owner. So but the thing about this is it's very hard to prove though. So that's the reason why it's kind of hard to prove. I think you can suspect it. A lot of time we do suspect it.
So that's why it's controversial, because at the end of the day, you are harping on people who already want a specific product or need it. And then at the end of the day, you try to squeeze them with a bit more. And you give all these jargons like, oh, it's an auction or it's a promo or siapa cepat dia dapat, first come, first serve, this kind of things. And if all of these strategies technically supposedly work, doesn't it still fall onto the first criteria that is because people are already searching for it? And it should not build any scarcity tactics unless you're really like, Gucci or Armani, you're making a very limited edition jacket and you already declare to the public that you're only making 20 pieces of this, right? And that's why you sell at exorbitant prices. So it's not the same.
Yeah, those are scarcity. I think I would argue that is also artificial scarcity because like the Hermes bags, whatever bags. What else did you?
Hermes bags, yeah.
Yeah, Birkin, those bags that cost into the tens of thousands, right?
Yeah, but the funny thing is that is a different kind of industry because those are tangible products, and women of people of status, they want to own those kind of limited edition things because it's a conversational piece to talk about among their circles, right? For those people who can afford those kind of bags, because if it's not limited, then it's no longer special.
Yeah, I think that's creating scarcity because of the status,
Correct.
That's more of a status thing. Yeah, it's status and I wouldn't call that a bag. The Birkins and the Hermes bags. Those aren't really bags. Those are jewelry.
Correct.
I would look at it as jewelry. So yes, it's artificial. It's still artificial scarcity though, because don't tell me you can't create more bags like those. You definitely can. The raw materials are not.
You can knock it off, right? And you can get it in Chinatown. But that's the thing. The idea is Hermes is dedicated to the idea to creating this limited edition for the public, its consumers. And they already know that consumers are buying this stuff because it's hot off the shelf, right? And people always like new things. So there you go. So they're not doing anything wrong either. They're actually giving the people what they want. So that's technically an artificial scarcity, but in the product
it is. No, it's artificial scarcity in the sense that it's scarce on purpose because again it's jewelry. Like someone who buys a $70,000 Birkin bag. I'm just pulling numbers out of the air here. I don't know how much they cost, but let's say a Birkin bag costs like 70,000 ringgit. And if you buy that bag and you go into to a party or somewhere like some gala where rich people go, and then you see 15 other people wearing your same bag, you'll be pissed off. Like It has to be, super rare.
Below that, if a woman walks into a party and she sees another woman wearing the same dress or handbag or same accessory, that's going to be a World War III. But if you see a guy walk into the party with another guy with the same shirt on, and they're going to go like, hey, bro, we're bros. Different kind of mentality. But yeah, why is that?
And that's just because that's a status. That's why I said it's a status thing. It's a combination of status and plus scarcity. So the reason why the thing, the Birkin bag is kind of like shows your status, is a signal of status, is because it's rare. You can't. There's 15 of them in the whole world, and then that's it. So it's very rare that if you go out somewhere and you wear a bag, chances are you're the only one wearing that bag. So there's a status component to it, and then it is artificial scarcity. But in that case, I think it makes sense for them. I mean, I don't think it makes sense for me to. I don't see it like I don't understand bags, obviously.
Well, but
that's the whole thing.
Then people who like branded shoes. So are you a shoe kind of guy?
Not really. I have shoes. I'm very practical in my shopping habits. Like if it's a Nike Air, Michael Jordan wears that kind of same shoe. I don't really care. Like what? So what? I just go and find something that's comfortable for me, and then that's it. I just pay for it. Ciao.
I mean, we're not condoning the rich society, of course, or people who can afford those expensive stuff. I mean, if you're already at that level, you can imagine if you're a billionaire, like buying a Birkin bag at $70,000 is probably like what, $70 to them, and it's not a big deal. And that's fine. I mean, the problem is it's not just about scarcity. They create a rarity. Is there such a word? Or
isn't that the same thing though? If something is scarce, it's also rare, isn't it?
Yeah. So that rarity is what the upper class people are aiming for. But let's talk about when it comes back to creating some online website or online store which shows scarcity. It still begs the question, unless it comes from someone really reputable, like we know from YouTube, the millionaire Mr. Beast, right? And he comes up like a program like, hey, check out, buy these t-shirts right now and we're going to help contribute to planting trees. We only have a limited of 20,000 t-shirts. So each t-shirt, basically all of it is going to charity. So if you want to get it now. So it's for a good cause, but there's only 20,000 of those t-shirts. So will people like buy it up quick? Because in support of
it's still artificial though, because there's no reason he can't print more than 20,000 t-shirts. There's absolutely no reason.
Yeah, correct. But maybe
the reason why it's limited. The reason why it's limited is because like fast forward 3 or 4 years, if you happen to wear that t-shirt to a party somewhere, a dance, a rave event or whatever, and then you see another guy or girl wearing that same t-shirt, that's something that you can connect with, that's
that's an immediate connect there, right? Yeah,
there's an automatic sense of community there. Oh, hey, yeah, I remember, remember this, remember that time when Mr. Beast did that charity thing.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, they didn't sell the t-shirts. They just decided to use drones to plant over 2 million trees. And that's even more amazing, right? Because they partner with Mark Grober. But that's another story altogether. The links are in the description.
But there's still artificial scarcity, and I don't think that's controversial, but it's still artificial. Yeah, because he could have just printed more shirts. What's the problem?
So here's the question.
There's a certain reason why he did that, and it's because to foster that community thing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it comes back to the same question here. So is artificial scarcity a good thing or a bad thing? And
to answer the question,
extremes, right? The first extremes, like those are definitely scam, con jobs. Don't click on those guys. Don't click.
Yeah.
Okay. If you ever see those kind of scammy clicks, don't click. And it's almost similar to phishing sites, isn't it? So they're just stealing your data. You're not actually getting any product at the end of the day or service, So don't click on those scam sites. So scarcity, would it be something you are pro to or more towards con?
Okay, let's go into the other level I was talking about. We are talking about tactics so far. So there's the strategy level of creating artificial scarcity. So for example, an example of this would be like the De Beers company. You know what they do is, they mine as many diamonds as they can, but they never put them on market. They just keep them in a safe somewhere. This was exposed a few years ago in that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Blood Diamond.
Correct.
So that's not a tactic anymore. Like that's a whole business strategy in which you make something that's not really rare. You mine the shit out of it so that you exhaust all of the resources that's available outside, and then you hoard it in one place. And then now it becomes rare. Now you can say, diamonds are forever, and then you just market it to like young impressionable people. You need to buy a diamond ring for your
anniversary, wedding, engagement.
Yes,
pretty much. And even the rich society are popular with that. So yeah.
Yes, it means something to your relationship. Your relationship is nothing without a diamond ring, and it's scarce because they made it scarce. Otherwise, it's not scarce. Diamonds are not really scarce because there's a lot of documentaries, and there's a movie Blood Diamond. There's a few documentaries I remember that exposed the whole thing. It wasn't scarce in the first place, and now you can even create artificial diamonds by applying enough pressure to carbon, which is what diamonds are really, isn't it? It's like that's diamonds. And then I think like a lot of the major industries do this artificial scarcity thing. Like the oil industry, it's always like some country they holding back their production of oil or something, or they produce it but they don't really put it out in the market. So it's like Saudi sometimes does that to control the oil prices, or sometimes even if they want to influence the oil prices, they will just flood the market with oil. But
we leave that to OPEC basically. But that's the problem with the world today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Supply and demand, drop of price, increase of price. Yeah. Certain countries have
scarcity, artificial abundance. This kind of thing is also a business strategy, and I think in a lot of cases, especially like products like oil, like diamonds is one thing. Because I see the younger generation, they don't care about diamonds that much anymore because who cares? But things like oil, it affects our day-to-day lives, and it's very unethical for you to manipulate it by creating artificial scarcity or artificial abundance. Even sometimes like Saudi, sometimes they flood the whole market with too much oil to just drop the price down for whatever reason.
Yeah, we call those all manipulating tactics. Sometimes it really helps to take over a company or buy over stakeholders and all that. So that's very complex. Let's not go back there. Correct. So coming back here, are we here to support that creating artificial scarcity is a good thing for products and services who want to sell their products, or is it something that should be practiced with caution?
Yeah, I think companies should use it because it does increase your conversion rates. That's not like I think we've proved that enough with the extreme example we did in the beginning of the podcast, where we showed that is a very extreme example. It's like an obvious scam, but people still fall for it. So there's no question that it works. It does work.
I know many of you now watching this podcast or listening to it go like, I don't fall for all those scams. I never click on it. Nah, I don't do it. You sure? You sure that there was one time where your girlfriend told you that she wanted that new latest iPhone and stuff, but then they started selling out everywhere else and you had to go look for it at DG or U Mobile or something because they give you some 12-month package plan? Come on, guys. You're all victim of artificial scarcity. Admit it, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, hey, comment in the sections below.
I mean, where was I just? E-commerce brands should use it like flight websites that sell flight tickets. It's inevitable. Flight tickets are not unlimited. There is scarcity there.
Yeah, we don't have to go that far. Let's look at Air Asia. Yeah. If you go on their website and you notice, they'll say there are like 5 people buying these seats now. So for those, I will believe it's definitely more legitimate because people already want to buy those seats, right? Early. And there's no reason why they want to fake that. So you got to get it quick or that's it. You run out of seats. There's only a limited number of seats in the plane anyway.
Yeah, so scarcity works, and in some cases it can be ethical, like in the Birkin case. But I think in most cases, if it's, you need to create scarcity, but not the artificial type. Because even though the simple extreme scams still work, I think in recent years, consumers have been the level of tech savviness of consumers have grown by quite a lot.
Correct.
So you won't get away with it for long. So if you want to build like a long-term profitable business, you should use scarcity wisely in your marketing campaigns.
Correct. I agree. I think it's easy to it's definitely a clear-cut agreement here that scarcity does work. But like Amri says, you gotta know that today, is your product really worth it? Is it of some sound quality? And let's be honest, if it's really good, the word will be spread around anyway, word of mouth. And you don't really need to do much marketing because people will buy your product if it's really in that category of salience, right? And you don't need that much persuasion.
True. Yeah. So like guys, if you've been listening to this and you're like, you have any comments or maybe corrections, maybe we got something wrong, just put it down in the comments so that we can, maybe we do an update on the description or whatever, where we also like to hear what your thoughts about like this series. Are you enjoying it so far? And maybe just suggest some other tactics that you think are controversial,
Yeah, great. Looking forward to it. Okay. I know you guys all fall for those. Yeah, don't say you don't click on those silly links. I'm sure you do. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Right. See you now.
All right. See you in the next episode. Bye for now. Ciao.